You're telling me you're a journalist.
So can you tell me what crime? Can you articulate a crime that I've committed?
I don't have to detain you for a crime. This is suspicious right now.
So
this is
suspicious. Is suspicious a misdemeanor or a felony? When you detain somebody, what's your burden of proof? What do you have? What do you do? You just go to random. You just go to random people and say you're detained.
Long Island Audit was visiting the Newburgh Police headquarters in New York. He was there peacefully exercising his first right to film in public and to make sure public servants respected that right. Unfortunately for him though, these officers don't even know the laws they were hired to uphold.
There goes the supervisor's car right there. Gets the park in the front. Canine unit right here.
They got a tank.
And this must be a hand-me-down. Also, the car is running. You know, so this must be a hand-me-down from the military.
Not even 10 minutes into filming, Long Island gets approached by two officers who instantly start to harass him. It's seriously painful to watch these two cops trying to prove him wrong.
Hey, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
You working here or something, or?
Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am, but
Can I help you with anything?
no, I don't need any help with anything right now.
Okay.
Can I get your name and badge number, though?
Sure, Kuhn, KUHN, Shield 17. Can I ask you what you're doing?
17. I'm just taking video and picture. How you doing, sir?
What?
Hey, so
What?
we got a in the parking lot. Myself and Officer Kuhn.
How you doing?
You're
Can I
not allowed
get-
to be. You're not allowed to be in this area.
Can I get your name and badge number?
You can read it right there, but you're not allowed to be. You're not allowed to be in this area.
Wow, these officers just come in super confrontational. Long Island hasn't even been aggressive. He was just trying to exercise his First Amendment, minding his own business. He's choosing to talk to these guys. He can simply just turn his back and ignore them.
You have any business here?
I do have business here, yeah.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you that.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you. Hey, whoa.
What's your business?
Just relax, man. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it is a big
This
deal.
guy's-
because you're not allowed to be in this area.
These guys
This
are
for
super
authorized personnel
hostile.
only.
Instantly.
That's not-
If you'd like to go in the lot,
That's
you
not
can
true.
go sit over
There's no sign saying authorized personnel only. So
No, well, I'm telling you that. So you can go into the
no,
parking
you
lot.
can't
and
just.
stand
This
over
is
there
this is a
freely.
this is a public
He
this is a
doesn't make
public
up the
parking
laws,
lot. So
man.
what
It's not.
happens is Geyer.
No,
Is
it's
that how I
not.
say that?
It's
This
not.
is a public parking
It's
lot.
not.
Yeah, because it's funded by
It's not.
taxpayer.
It's not.
You're wrong.
It's not. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
We all know who's in the wrong in this situation. This officer is trying to make up laws and rules on the spot. I sincerely hope the police use this video as a training tool in de-escalation and how to deal with situations like this.
Listen, buddy, we can go take a walk over here and you can go stand over there. We can have this
You
conversation.
could take a walk over there if you'd like. There is no signs deeming this a restricted area.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't just deem an area restricted that's open
yeah,
to the
like,
public.
So then maybe
You
you're having
can't
a
just
hard
wake
time
up one day and
listening.
say that.
Okay? That's what the issue could be here.
No,
I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
I don't think
we can
that's
go take
it.
a walk over here.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not allowed to be over here.
Dude.
Yeah, no, I understand. But what I'm telling you is you can't just make an area restricted. It has to be restricted already. This is not a restricted area
No,
here.
you're sadly mistaken, pal.
Okay.
You're sadly
Yeah.
mistaken.
Okay. Why don't we get a supervisor out
Yeah,
here?
right.
Why don't we walk over here where you're allowed to be,
I'm
or we can
gonna-
have an issue.
Oh, what's the issue? Is that a threat?
No, that I'm telling you right now, you're not allowed to be in this area, bro.
The police in these audits always come on like gangbusters. Every situation gets worse even on camera. These audits show how routinely unaware of the law and seeking confrontation these police are.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm asking
you're
for
not
a
understanding.
supervisor.
You're not
I'm
understanding.
asking for a supervisor.
You're not understanding.
Does your policy not
That's
state?
what I'm saying. I
Does your
think you're having a
policy?
hard time.
Does your policy state?
Do you have issues or something like?
No, I
hearing?
think you
issues
have.
hearing?
I think you have
You're
some
not
anger
allowed to
issues,
be in this
buddy.
area,
Wow, he
dude.
really
This
just
guy
asked
came
him.
over here.
Come over here
He
and walk
really
over
just
here.
asked him that.
There's a complete difference. See, this is the contrast in America of you got cops like you,
yeah.
and then you got cops like you.
Listen,
Cops who want to
we're trying to-
escalate and cops who want to
we're
de-escalate.
trying
There's
to
a
tell you
difference.
very nicely. You're
That's
not
how
listening.
good cops get hurt because people like you,
Okay.
when they go in all gun ho.
Okay.
Let me
Not
finish
even
what I'm
letting him
saying.
talk.
I was just finished what I'm saying.
Can I have your
That's
ID,
all.
please, so we know who we're talking to?
No, you're not gonna get my ID. I haven't committed a crime.
This officer thinks he can just ask anyone for ID, but let's pay close attention to what Long Island tells the cop next and see how the guy in the back reacts to it.
Where's your credential? If you're a journalist, that's fine. Where's your credentials, sir?
You don't need credentials, and I don't need to provide you with
Anybody has the
anything
freedom
unless
of
you have
press.
reasonable
Anybody can film.
reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime.
What
I'm
kind of
about to commit a
suspicion?
crime.
What kind of suspicion?
Reasonable, articulable. Did you learn that in training or no? Okay.
We don't-
So
we don't
reasonable,
use that.
you don't use that over here?
We don't use that phrase.
I mean, every police. reasonable articulable suspicion.
I never heard those two words used together.
Wow, that's kind of scary. That's kind of
What?
scary.
I'm just saying.
It's very important
Bro,
to your
this is
job
not
because you
real.
can't do anything
This
without
isn't
that,
real.
without reasonable articulable
I can,
suspicion.
because
We haven't
now-
done anything.
No,
Now,
well, who
I
said you
guys-
touched me? I didn't say you touched me.
Now I have a
It's having a hard
person,
time.
and I don't know her intentions in our work area.
That really
We're
threw
not
me off
supposed
what
to
the
be
officer just
videotaped.
said.
You don't see that as being suspicious?
There is nothing preventing me from being here, number one. Number two, I'm engaging in a constitutionally protected activity.
Such as?
These officers clearly are uneducated on the law. Long Island is just reiterating that he's exercising his first right to film, and these officers really just ask what right that is. It's terrifying that so many cops are clueless to the law that they're supposed to uphold. More people understanding these things, both the public and police, would solve so many problems we are having between the two.
So most journalists,
Oh
right?
my
They want
God.
to come and they want to do stories, they want to get information.
Yeah.
You know what they do? They call up and they make appointments. So that way, guess what you could do? You could walk around here and say, hey, officer.
But why would I do that? Why would I do that when I can do it anyway?
Yeah.
Why would I call if I could
Right.
just do it
We
anyway?
wouldn't be doing this, would we?
I mean, you could do this all you'd like. Am I detained?
Right now, yes. Until we figure out for sure what you're doing,
So
yes.
you're telling me that I'm detained.
Yes.
Whoa.
Until I can
That
figure out
is
who you
just-
are.
Interesting.
Officer
Okay, this is an unlawful
completely-
detainment, just so you know.
Okay.
Completely.
Until
Okay.
I can figure out what your true intentions are. You're telling me you're a journalist.
So
you have no
can you
credentials.
tell me what crime? Can you articulate a crime that I've committed?
I don't have to detain you for a crime. This is suspicious
So
right now.
so
This is
suspicious.
activity.
Is suspicious a misdemeanor or a felony?
Not suspicious activity right now. I gotta try to find out what
Is
you're
suspicious activity, sir, a misdemeanor or a felony?
doing. Oh, it all depends on how you want to speak. It all depends on what you're doing, doesn't it?
This is the moment the sergeant comes. The one glaring problem with all audits I have watched is the inability for police officers to listen to a civilian without interrupting them. Their egos are so inflated and fragile, they can't even let them say anything.
As a sergeant, you should know that your officer here didn't know what reasonable articulable suspicion was.
Dude, thank you
so
for bringing that up.
he said he's never heard of it. You guys don't use that here. Is that true?
No, what I said was I never heard the way you described it. First of all,
Reasonable
No,
articulable
that's not what he
suspicion. You
said.
said you didn't know what that was.
No. As far as how we conduct business, we don't conduct business.
Well,
the
and
same way
I'm gonna teach you something. In order
gonna teach you something. We
in
don't
order to
conduct business
detain
the same
somebody,
way.
you
We
need
don't speak
reasonable,
That's
articulable
fine.
suspicion.
You can
That's
say-
not
I
speaking
don't
the way
speak
I
like that.
do.
Like you just said, everybody's different, right?
So
I don't
when you
speak like
detain
that.
somebody, what's your burden of proof? What do you have? What do
I
you
just
do?
said I
You just
don't
say you
put-
just
I
go to
don't put those
random.
words
Guys,
together.
hey,
You just
stop.
go to random people and say you're
Yeah.
detained.
Enough. We don't need to sit
Yeah.
here and argue, okay? You guys are all set.
All right.
You guys can go.
The moment Long Island speaks of the law with far greater knowledge is the same moment the supervisor dismisses his thugs. I do not believe it's a coincidence. He just realized they were outgunned in legal sense. But let's hear what the sergeant has to say about this.
Sarge, listen, all I'm doing, I have no ill intent.
Look, you're
I'm
not
just,
being violent. You're not being.
No.
You're not even being argumentative. You're not. You're
Okay.
free. You're recording me. That's fine. You're also being recorded. I'm
I
sure
know.
you already know that. So, again, just explaining to you.
Yeah.
At first, we want to try to find out. I'm not going to try and force you to give me your name. I'm not going to try and force you to give me identification
appreciate
or
that.
anything like that. Okay.
Respect for that sergeant. He's the officer every police should strive to be like. He remained calm, didn't violate any rights, respected boundaries, stood there and legitimately listened to Sean and was great at de-escalation.
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Why you were approached initially. I know you're not happy with the entire interaction.
Yeah.
Just
This
beforehand.
guy's nice,
but
man.
if you could just, I'm not gonna file like a formal complaint against them, but what I would
would.
say is,
Are you
seem
crazy?
I want to go
you-
inside and talk with them.
you
right
seem
now,
you seem
so.
reasonable, so that's what I'm not gonna do. Normally I would,
Dude, you
but you
should.
seem reasonable, so
You
I
should,
appreciate
bro.
it. You can't detain people willy nilly.
go comment on the
That's
original video, tell them
I
to
know a
file a
lot of
complaint.
officers do
This
it,
is
but
ridiculous.
it's not right. You have to have reasonable articulable suspicion I'm committing a crime, and which there was none.
Well, it
and then
helps-
escalation is another thing.
It helps when people like yourself know the process as well.
Yeah.
I really like this sergeant and I wish there was more like him. He was a glowing example of what a good police officer should be. In my opinion, this entire department is completely uneducated, but I don't know, what do you think? Should they have just thrown Long Island in jail for filming and maybe had the taxpayers pay for the lawsuit?